Hey everybody, my name's Matt Modi. I'm here to bring you a video kind of introducing and bringing you an informative way to make $10,000 if you're a new user on Sportsbooks. I know that kind of sounds like ridiculous and like a scam, but if you just bear with me, I can promise you it's not. So the goal of this, like I said, is to show you, it's an informative walkthrough on the value of all the different legal sportsbooks that are out there, like DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, PointsBet, all that stuff. So the main thing I'm going to go over is the value of their sign-up promos. That's where you can make the $10,000 on only 6 sportsbooks. That's not even going into all of them. So I'll get into that later. A little bit of background about myself. So my day job, I'm a data analyst for a software company. So I like to say that data is my profession while sports are my passion. So as I got a little bit older, I was kind of thinking, what is the best way for me to combine that? And I kind of thought that data analytics and sports, that's the way to do it. So I'm a writer here at OddsJam, giving out just kind of the best value bets to make or any type of mathematical advantage you can gain from betting. I also have my own website at Modi, my last name, sportsanalytics.com. So that is modisportsanalytics.com. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at Modi_sports. So like I said earlier, the goal here today is just to kind of walk through the value of all the different promotions that sportsbooks offer, especially, like I said, if you're a new user. So like me, I live in Virginia. They just legalized it at the beginning of 2021. So I was able to take advantage of a lot of these. And they're still even adding more sportsbooks today. So like I know technically PointsBet isn't legal in Virginia yet, but it is on the list. So that is something that I'll be able to take advantage of. And if you are in a state that has it or it's coming soon in your state, I'll definitely make sure to look out for it. There are still promos you can do on offshore ones like Bovada, but they're not as fruitful. And the key to all this is just to understand exactly what you're betting on. So that you kind of need to understand of what to take advantage of and what's BS. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but there are different types of promos. And just because an odds are boosted or something says it's free doesn't necessarily mean it is and that it's a good bet to make. So just something to keep in mind. And before I start, one thing I want to just preface that is that in any of your like sports betting endeavors, I would make sure you use the OddsJam website. I mean, it's a phenomenal tool, even if you don't get the paid version, which I suggest you do because it's amazing and you can really maximize your profits. But so they have this ARB calculator, they have a free play calculator, Novig Fair Odds calculator. They have a bunch of tools you can use, kind of explaining what arbitrage is. I have a blog, and then here's their free one, and you can also track their bets. So, I know I'm being a company man, but it's a phenomenal tool, and if you're going to need some type of calculator tool like this to maximize your profit, and that's kind of the whole point, is to enjoy sports and make money. So, just want to preface that I'll definitely make sure you use the website. So I'm only going to go over 6 different sports books. I kind of just Googled the 6 most popular. These are the ones that came up. But to be clear, if there's one in your state that I don't go over, I can almost guarantee you it'll have the same type of promos. So you'll find it the same way, which I can show you on each one. But just something to keep in mind that I would something to definitely look into, and that they're not limited to these 6. So the first one I'll go over is DraftKings. And this is the one that I use the most. So let me go to their home screen so I can show you how to navigate it. So right now, I'm not even logged in yet. This is their home screen. So the first thing you see? Join DraftKings Sportsbook, get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. So I know I promised you 10,000. There's 1/10 of that. There's $1,000. And all this means is that you have to deposit $10,000 and you'll get a bonus, or sorry, $1,000. And you get a bonus of 1,000. So it all depends on, and you need to make sure you have the cash flow for it. So if you're already planning on spending over $1,000 on this, then on sports betting and on this sports book specifically, then this is an easy way to get $1,000. Because if it lose, you let's say you place $1,000 bet, it loses. Guess what? You get $1,000 right there that you can play with. Another new customer offer: bet $1, get 200 instantly. Again, read the terms of it, but that stuff's free. And I know I said I'd mention that if you don't use these sports books, how to still find the promos. Well, guess what? It says it right there, promo. So if you click that, it'll give detail to each one. So there's the new user one that I already went over. If they have the option, I like to go through one at a time because it's just easier to understand when it's not information overload. So here's $1,000. And this says risk free bet up to 5,000. So that's if you make $1,000 deposit at first, you can actually get 5,000. So I know I promised you 10. That's actually maybe up to 15, or 14, but we will see. So the first two, and this is why I love DraftKings, no-brainer bets. They're trying to get you back into football. So the hammer the over and hammer the spread. The hammer the over is Georgia versus Clemson. The point total is, I think it's at 9 right now. Either way, it gets to a obscenely low. So basically, they give you a limited amount you can bet on it. I think the max here is 25. But as long as, I'll go back to the home page just to find out the amount. But as long as the total score for Georgia versus Clemson goes over 9.5 points. So if total there are 10 or more points, you get a free $25. That's pretty nice. And they do these no-brainer ones all the time. So the second no-brainer one is Tampa Bay plus 73. So that means you get 73 spread Tampa Bay plus, not minus. So as long as they don't lose, as it says here, by 74, you win. This one, I believe the max is 50, but it might be 25. Either way, it's still free money. So no matter what the limit is, I'll always do these because it's just an easy way to, like I said before about arbing, funding your bankroll. That's what I do here. If I don't want to invest $1,000 at first, but I want to have something to play with, well, here's $100 free right here, including the stake. The odds boosts, unfortunately, they only have win the NFC East. I actually think that's pretty good value at plus 400. So if you're able to do that, I would probably opt in because if you ask me, that's a different conversation, but I think they're the favorite in the East. The odds boost is normally where they'll post, like if, let's say the Washington football team, their first game, they're plus 120, they'll boost it to 150. And that's when you can get the best value with arbing. So unfortunately, they don't have any yet today. It's probably too early in the day for me here. But just something to keep in mind. Profit boosts, the parlay boosts, I don't do as much because parlays are tough. And, you could bet 1,000 3-leg parlays and you probably won't win that many. And unless you do ones that are terrible odds, like Alabama minus 1,000, you parlay stuff like that, 33% isn't going to make that worth it. So I don't do these a ton. But again, if you're in the parlays or you think you can hit enough to make it profitable, then by all means, here's a profit boost. And then here's an easy one. Get a free bet, refer a friend. You both get a free bet up to 100. So if it's new in your state or you and your buddies don't know about it yet, here's a way to get free $100. Super easy. So that's DraftKings. Next one, I think the second most popular is FanDuel. So again, let me go back to the home screen. So again, easy way to find it. Their layout's a little different, but left here is on the promos. So they have something similar for the Georgia versus Clemson one, but this one, you refer a friend, they bet 5, you both win 150. So if you bet $5 on Clemson, they win, you both get $150. Sounds good to me. So risk-free 1,000. So if we're counting up, that is $6,000 free dollars you can get if you deposit $1,000. It's pretty nice. Like I said, do this responsibly. If you have the cash flow and you're already planning on spending the money, do it. If not, then maybe you only do $200 and get 200. It's as simple as that. And then their boosts, they don't have any odds boosts for specific games, so I can't show you that with arbing. But the thing I want to highlight here with boosts is that a lot of times you'll notice when you do this more that the odds boosts are for stuff that they don't think is gonna actually hit. So for this one, College Football Super Boost, Ohio State and Tennessee to each score more than 40. Ohio State probably will because they're a stud. Tennessee, because they're studs. Tennessee probably won't. So they like to kind of entice you with one, and then the second leg is what's unlikely to hit. So plus 180, it's not great value. So again, if you like it, by all means. I mean, the boost from 125 to 180 is good, but only boost it on stuff you actually think is going to hit. Don't take an odds boost just because it's boosted. Same thing here. Pete Alonso to record 2 hits. I don't know what's going on with the Mets. They're a joke right now. I probably wouldn't touch that one. So that's FanDuel. Next one I'll go over is William Hill / Caesars. So it was William Hill. They changed their name to Caesars. Again, if you want to get there, this is the home screen. The promotions are here. The boosts are here. So let's go to the promotions first. And here you go. Another $5,000. So if you bet 5,000 and you lose it, you'll get that 5,000 right back in site credit. So what's that? 11,000 total now. And then another boost not a boost. Another way to get some free merch in this case is all you have to do is bet $100 of worth of NFL bets in September, and you get and you get a free $150 gift card to NFL Shop. So if you're like me and you're a big fan of a team, for me it's the Eagles. As you can tell, I'll get myself a Devonta Smith jersey. I'll probably actually be doing this. Then there are other ones on here that I like the Super Future. So if you bet a future on who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, you'll get $5 for every regular season win they have. So there are two ways you can do this. You can just take who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, which seems obvious. So you'd say you think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. You bet $50 on them. They'll probably win more than 10 games, so you'll make your money back on that alone. And you'll also, if they win the Super Bowl, you'll obviously win that. Another strategy to do is not necessarily who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, but instead who you think is going to win the most regular season games, because that's how you'll maximize your profit here. So let's say the Bucs, they returned all their starters. They have an easy schedule. They still have Tom Brady, last I checked. They returned all their coaching staff pretty much. I think they're going to win the most regular season games. They're going to win 15, 16 games in a 17-game season. Well, then you get $5 for everyone there. And if they win more than the Chiefs, that's more than $5. So just two different options there. Another one I like, Friday double. So you make a bet on Friday. If it wins, you double your winnings. That's easy. If you're already going to bet on Fridays, you might as well just do this. And there you go. Same thing here. For Sunday, earn $10 for every touchdown your team scores. You pick someone to win. You bet the spread, you get $10 for every touchdown. So just pick who thinks to win and who thinks can score the most. Easy money. So the next one is WinBet, and this one's new to Virginia. So this is actually one that I don't even have. I haven't even made an account with yet. But to get to the promos, you just click the menu, promotions, and then we're here. So another free $1,000. That would make that 12 free $1,000. Another free one. This is similar to the no-brainer one, like I showed you on DraftKings. If either team scores a touchdown, Dallas at Tampa Bay, you bet $1, you win 100. That seems pretty easy to me. Again, the parlay one, not a huge fan of, but if you like parlays, it's a free way to get $10. And then they do it on, if you bet $100, you get $20 free, $20 for free. So again, if you have the cash flow and you're planning on spending money on this stuff, you can make a lot of free money. Again, you do that responsibly, obviously. So unfortunately, WinBet doesn't have great promos, so there's not much to go in there. But next one, BetMGM. They have a ton of different promos that I really like. First one, again, free new user, $1,000. Easy money. Another one, if you place a $25 future waiver, you'll win 10 free bucks. So you could either do that. I think the Bucs are going to win their division, terrible odds, but it'll probably win and you'll get 10 free dollars. Or you can just do it on a future, like a lotto ticket, Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, you still get 10 free dollars. And if it doesn't hit, then you only lost 15. But that one is, again, something to be careful because they want you to bet 25 on a future because it's going to be unlikely to hit and you'll only get 10 free dollars back. So they love it because they're making $15 more times than not. So you got to make sure you're careful with that. Another nice one is if you bet $50 over the course of the week, 10 free dollars. So again, if you're already planning on doing it, easy money. The one game parlays are fun, but again, you know how I feel about parlays. And then the last one I'll go over, and again, this one's not legal in Virginia yet, but they do have some good promos, is PointsBet. So again, if they have the option to look into different ones, I like to do that. So first, sign up offer. Let's do that first. So here's free $2,000. So I believe that gets me up to 14 grand for free. So if you have the cash flow and you can invest $14,000, you'll get it $14,000 right back. So it's pretty much a one-for-one cost right there. So that's why I highlighted how important the sign-up bonuses was and how I could guarantee you it actually ended up being over $10,000. But that's the point. Other stuff, booster odds, they have some free ones. So the Tom Brady one, if he throws for a yard, you get it at plus 100. I think the max bet's only like $10, but still, that's free $10. So unless he gets hurt in the kickoff or something, or he gets hurt, eating too much guacamole or avocados. But I think, again, 10 free dollars. Another 10 free dollar one, it says it right here, max bet $10. If the game doesn't end in a 0-0 tie, again, you get plus 100 odds. So you would assume someone will at least get a field goal, maybe a safety, and that one will hit. And then if you scroll, keep going, you can get to the get out of here. They do it by sport. Sorry. So they have the Tom Brady one, risk-free parlay. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that. This one I don't hate. Ohio State to score 40 plus points and win. Ohio State, they kind of just wiped the floor with the Big Ten. Minnesota's not bad, but you assume first game of the year, Ohio State will probably win and score 40 plus points. So plus 135, pretty good odds for that. But if you go through it here, the other promos they have for sports, I guess it doesn't want me to click them. But anyways, so that's the end of the sportsbook tutorial. Unfortunately, they didn't have any specific odds boosts for just for one game. So like I said, they didn't boost the Washington football team from plus 100 to whatever. That, again, I'm making those odds up, but I still would like to go through arbing and how you can make the most money, or how you can make money off of it, and how you can maximize profit is by using those odds boosts. So going back to FanDuel, or sorry, DraftKings real quick. And I'm just going to use this as an example. Unfortunately, there's no live one, but all right, let's go to the NFL. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so Washington football team plus 100, Chargers minus 120. So let's pretend that they boosted the Washington football team to plus 100. Now it's plus 175. And they max that out at, let's say the max you can bet is $50. That's normally what they do. So the Chargers are minus 120, and now the Washington football team is plus 175. First thing you do is you scan every single sports book to find the best odds. So if, DraftKings is offering it at minus 120, maybe FanDuel is doing minus 110. And you can do that on the OddsJam website. So again, I know I mentioned why it's a phenomenal website. That's another one. It'll list the odds for each website. So back to our example, Washington football team 175. The Chargers are minus 120. The max you can put on is 50. So here you go. You bet $50 on plus 175, you'll make 137. And this number is what it's telling you to bet. So if I change this to 25, that'll change. So then you get the Chargers at minus 120, you bet 75, again, the same payout, and you're guaranteeing to make 1250. So odds boosts is where you're going to get the most profitable way to do some arbing, but you can still do it on regular games if you just if you look at the website and you scan the odds book, the sports books for the best odds. And for me, I like doing arbing only on odds boosts, but it's an easy way to fund your bets for the week. So if you don't have a huge bankroll, and I do Monday through Friday, let's say you do this every day, Monday through Friday, that's over $60 you get from arbing alone. And if you want to bet $60 on the next Sunday on the NFL, there you go. So for me, I like to use this to fund my own personal bets. Or if your goal is to just maximize cash and you don't want to lose any of it, then just arb. And if you don't have like this was the max 50, if you don't have a max bet and you can do the cash flow, you can make a lot of money. So that's the end of my tutorial here. Like I said, if you are new to sports books and you have the cash flow, it's just an incredibly profitable venture that you can get into. So I would recommend doing it. Or I would just, if it's not legal in your state, I would see if you can keep an eye on when it will be. And if not, do something similar with the offshore ones, like I mentioned. But again, I appreciate OddsJam. Let me make this video and hoping learn some people some numbers and how to make money betting. And if you have any questions, like I said at the top, you can hit me up on Twitter at @Modi_sports. All right. Thanks, guys.